It's Tuesday, but I'm realizing that I never actually entered this vlog yesterday, Monday, so welcome to week 3 of Whatever You Want-a-thon. And hopefully this week, well, I say hopefully, but I know I will. This week, we're gonna get a bingo. It's the end of the day, so I am hoping that tomorrow I'll get to share with you what I crossed off there. I also think I might cross this off for sprints because it was kind of a personal goal to do sprints, and we're playing fast and loose with the rules here. So yeah, I think I might cross that off, which would be a bingo, but yeah, we're working on it. I have I think like 20 or 30 pages left, 25, 30 pages left in this. 30 pages left in this. And it's getting intense. Things are happening. I'm gonna finish it tonight. There's another comparison that I want to make to this, but I can't make it without spoilers, so yeah. Right before I go downstairs to walk on the treadmill and watch some Cora, I wanted to share my book mail with you. I got these gorgeous foiled bookmarks. They are from Downbound Books in Cincinnati, and they are, you can get them on the website, you can also get them in store. They're $5, and 100% of the proceeds go to a charity for trans kids in Cincinnati. And when you add one of these to your order, 10% of the total order price also is donated to the same charity. So I got these 2 bookmarks, and then I also got 3 books. I got Beyond the Gender Binary by Alok. I got The Stonewall Reader, which I saw Casey the Reader talk about last year during Pride Month, and I was super interested in, so finally picked that up. And then I also got Ace by Angela Chan, which I've seen tons of people on Bookstagram talk about, and I've been very interested in. So I got these 3 books and some fun rainbow bookmarks in the mail today, so that is very fun. Okay, I'm here to make a cocktail. I got this blueberry lavender lemonade this weekend. And I phoned a friend. My friend Mix is really good at cocktails, so I asked them what they suggested I mix it with. They said either vodka, bourbon, or white rum. So I decided to go with white rum. So we're gonna do that. I do not have like a fancy thingy, so I'm gonna use this measuring cup. This is gonna be not exactly the most exact science. Let's see. Oh yeah. I finished it. It's good. I think I liked the river better, but I do think this was really good. I will look at the board in the morning and figure out which prompts it takes off, and I will talk about it more in the morning. But I finished it. That's my 5th book of the readathon, and now I'm going to be reading Elfangor's Secret, the Animorphs book. I started it and I'm like 20 pages into it, and let me just tell you that I was real confused because there's some sort of like there's Simon. There's some sort of time travel or like alternate universe thing going on, and like it was starting off in a way that I was like, did somebody tamper with this ebook? And like I went and got the actual book off my shelf to read the same chapter. No, that's what it was. It just felt like really offensive and not Catherine Applegate's style. So I'm a little, I don't know, I'm a little shaken up with this one, but I will let you know how I get on with that. I'm probably gonna try to read a chapter or 2 of that tonight, maybe see if I can get to like the 30-page mark on that. And yeah, then tomorrow I will pick another physical book to read. That's about it. I'm gonna watch a couple YouTube videos, read probably a chapter or 2 of the Animorphs book, and then I'm gonna go to bed because I have an 8 a.m. meeting tomorrow. Oh, I said I was gonna go to the grocery store. I can't do that in the morning because I have an early meeting. Ooh. Yeah, I don't know, I'm gonna have to figure that out because we need groceries. Good morning. So my 8 a.m. got canceled, so I'm going to tell you about this book really fast. The Guide by Peter Heller. So what you need to know is that if you intend on reading the book The River, then you should read The River before you read the guide, because the main character in the guide is also in the river, and this book spoils the ever-living shit out of the river. So yeah, read The River first if you're going to read it. I will say that doesn't what happens in the river and then is spoiled in here, it's not imperative that you have read The River to understand what's going on here, because it really just adds layers to the main character's story and his motivations. But this is a story about a guy named, well, I'm not going to tell you his name. I think it tells you, does it tell you in the blurb? Yeah, it tells you in the blurb, but I'm not going to tell you. This is a story about a young man who goes to a really prestigious lodge called the Kingfisher Lodge, and it's in the mountains of Colorado, and he is going there to be a fishing guide. There's a lot of talk about fishing, so that part is, I found it interesting just because of the like nature aspect of it, but it is a slightly tedious if you don't care about fishing. If you do care about fishing, I'm sure that this is a lovely description of fly fishing. But anyway, so he goes to this lodge to be a fishing guide, and he gets assigned to this woman named Allison Kay, who is some famous singer. That's not entirely important. It's only important as to the fact that like she has power in certain situations because she is rich and famous. But the lodge is for rich and famous people. They call it the Billionaire Mile. It's like a retreat. So while he's there, he sort of stumbles upon some things that don't sit right with him, and he starts to investigate, which then that's where the thriller aspect picks up because they don't want him to investigate. And it carries on from there. It's very much a psychological thriller, and then there's some like shootout scenes. So that's what you're in for with this one. There is a lot of nature description, which is what I liked about it and about the river. And I do think it's really well paced, and Peter Heller is just a really good writer. Let's talk about what this does as far as the bingo board. Here's where we stand. And I will be checking off the article's prompt, so it has the word "the" in it. This is also a less read genre for me because I don't read very many thrillers, probably like one a year, so less read genre. And then this one was definitely adventurous, so I am counting that for the adventure quest prompt on there. Not related to the book specifically, I'm also checking off the personal challenge prompt because not only did I drink 64 ounces of water 3 different days, I also did reading sprints, which I feel like is a personal goal of mine. So we have some bingos. This one got me 3 prompts plus one of the non-reading prompts and 4 bingos. So I went from 0 bingos to 4 bingos. The next book that I am currently reading, I'm actually reading the ebook, but I have the physical copy, is Elfangor's Secret, which is the 3rd Megamorphs book, but it's like halfway through the entire series of Animorphs books. And this one is going to be for the first letter, last letter, so ends in E. Elfangor's Secret starts with an E. And then also a portal fantasy because there's time travel, and middle grade. So this one will get me quite a few other bingos, and I think at that point I will only have 2 spaces left to check off, and I already know what I'm going to use for one of them. And then the last one is the one I thought I'd have the most trouble with, which is Host's Fave, but I have 2 options for that, and I think I will probably go with Darius the Great is Not Okay. So there we go. Let's get this day started, and I will talk to you guys later. I'm a quarter of the way into this Animorphs book, and I will stand behind. I will stand by. There we go. I'll stand by the fact that all of the Megamorphs are trash. They're trash. They're just trash. They're trash. Right now we're like in the middle of a French-English war in like the 16th century or something like that. And I don't care. It's dumb. And like, it's at the beginning, apparently the like deal that was made is that one of them has to die for them to like be given this opportunity. But like, we know they don't die. There's books by each one of them for like the rest of the series. So also there's a time matrix, so like clearly they're gonna like use the time matrix. It's so dumb. But I'm gonna get through it. Hopefully in the next day and a half. I would like to be done with this one soon so that I can move on to something that I actually want to read. The regular books in the Animorphs series are fine. It's just the Megamorphs. The Megamorphs books are so stupid. Anyways, that's enough ranting about this. Let's move on.
Which way?
This way. There you go.
There? Oh, Up or down? Up.
No. That way.
This way?
No. That way. That's the other way.
Oh, you want it to go left?
No.
Or do you want it to go right?
This way.
This way?
That's a good place for it.
You want it there? Alright.
Let's see
Let's
it.
turn out the light.
Are you ready?
Look.
Look at
Look
your
at the wall.
look at the wall. 1, 2, 3.
Whoa.
They're glowing.
Prepare yourself for the yawning because I am wiped today. I just laid here and finished this, and this was friggin' dark. I think I've said that like about most of the last few Animorphs books. I still maintain that the Megamorphs are kind of awful, but this was dark. Like, the whole premise of this one is that they are trying to stop this Yeerk who has discovered the time matrix. That's like a time travel device that can't be destroyed, and this person is, or this Yeerk is jumping through time, trying to change the events of history so that like humans are weaker and easier for the Yeerks to take over and control. And the Animorphs are trying to stop them. So there's a lot of tie-ins, some stuff that will make zero sense. So I'm not going to try to explain it. But like they are going to some of the like heavy hitter historical events, and these things are told in graphic detail. So like graphic details about D-Day, for instance, graphic details about like Washington crossing the Delaware and like an alternate history of Washington crossing the Delaware, and like one of the Animorphs dies, like very, not brutally told, but like matter-of-factly told. And I feel like that is horrifying. And so like these kids are dealing with having watched their friend literally die in front of them, and then having to continue to see all these horrible events unfold while they're trying to stop this thing happening. Like, this series gets more and more messed up as it goes on. So here we are. The bonus of finishing this one is that Catherine Applegate actually just announced last week that they're up to book 32 on audiobook, which means that 30, 31, and 32, which are the next 3 that I have to read, are all available on Scribd on audiobook. And I am going to be taking advantage of that and just like blowing through those 3. So I finished this one, and as far as bingo goes, this one counts for a Portal Fantasy because there's time travel, and that's what I'm going to count as Portal Fantasy. It also is last letter, first letter, so the last letter of the guide was E, and the first letter of this one is E for Elfangor's Secret. And the third one that it counts for is middle grade. So with that, I get 5 bingos. 5 bingos. So we're rocking and rolling. I only have 2 prompts now left on the board, and I'm about to start the second graphic novel in the Invisible Kingdoms trilogy. So this will tick off series continuation. And then the last one I will have to do is Host's Favorite. And I'm going to read Darius the Great Is Not Okay. So I have that out from the library. That's going to be the next one that I read. So I'm very excited about that. And then I'll have a full blackout, and then I can rearrange the prompts for like the reshuffled board and start again at like the halfway point of the month. We're doing great. This has been a spectacular reading month so far, and I am loving that. But yeah, so I'm going to probably watch a YouTube video or do a little editing right now, but then I'm going to read at least the first volume or comic or whatever in this. I'm going to read the first section of this. I also want to read this as well, but I may wait until I've reset the board. I don't know. I may just go ahead and read it and then count the prompts on the reset board. We'll see. I'm not really too worried about it. But yeah, so that is it. That is my update for tonight, and I have already packed my bag for the office tomorrow, which I'm not thrilled about, but we're gonna go downtown. We're gonna deal with it. I'm not saying this now. I'm not going to stop at the bookstore on the way home. I need to relax on the book buying right now because I am making good progress on my TBR, and that makes me feel excited. So I don't want to keep rolling that progress back every time I make a little. So I would like to have my physical TBR under 50 books by the end of the year, because that to me feels like the right amount of books for me. So that's the goal. I'm going to try really hard to keep myself accountable to that. But anyways, I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Good morning. The lens is gonna fog up because it's like 98% humidity. Well, I guess I'll be quick then. I had all my stuff packed in the car, ready to go to the office this morning, and I woke up at 6 this morning to a text message saying that the power's out at the office and everyone should work from home. And when I cackled, I woke Justin up and he was not happy about it. I cackled because that's hysterical. So thank you, whatever forces of nature or technology did that. I am watering the flowers because it's gonna be feels like 100 again today. Hold on. And so yeah, I'm watering all my plants this morning, and then once I'm done with that, I have to go wake up the baby, take him to my parents. So let's do that. Hello. Here I am. We just got an email saying that we could come into the office if we wanted to after 10 a.m. But it said, as a reminder, the air conditioning has been off all night and the building is slowly cooling. The heat index today is gonna be in the triple digits. So I was like, no. Even if I could, which I can't because a back-to-back meeting, so it's like if I wasn't already at the office, then it's not happening today. But also, that building is warm on a good day when the air conditioning has been operating all evening, so that's gonna be a furnace. So I'm home today, and I have a very busy day, so I am kind of glad that what I have to dip in and out of is a graphic novel. I did not start this last night. I went to bed at a reasonable time last night. It felt great. And when my alarm went off at 6 a.m., it felt great. So the lesson here is don't stay up until 11. But, you know, will I continue to remember that? Probably not. I ran by the grocery store on the way home and got milk. So now I have my delicious London Fog latte this morning with my toad in a hole breakfast. So I am in a great mood this morning. I am very hopeful. Today is two big things. The first is the Women's Prize for Fiction is announced at 2, so I had already marked off on my calendar because I was gonna like go find somewhere outside to watch it, but now I'm home, so I can do that in my office. So that is announced today. Very excited about that. I think I've talked about the fact that I'm kind of underwhelmed by this year's shortlist, especially. And I would love to see The Bread the Devil Need win, but my gut feeling is it's going to be one of two books. I think it will either be The Island of Missing Trees by Elif Shafak or Sorrow and Bliss by Meg Mason. Those are the two books that I think have the highest chance to win. And I think Great Circle is maybe like a possibility by Maggie Shipstead, but I really do think it's going to be either Island of Missing Trees or Sorrow and Bliss. So we shall see. The other thing that's happening today is the FDA is meeting to review the data for the under 5 COVID vaccine. And this mama of a toddler is so ready for this to be available. So fingers crossed that the data looks good and that it gets approved and that the CDC moves quickly to approve it on their end so that as early as potentially next week it could be available. And I will tell you that I will not be waiting to see. I will be jumping on that bandwagon. So hopeful of that, looking forward to the Women's Prize announcement, and home in my air-conditioned home. So that's how the day is going so far. I am quite jolly today.
Time to announce the winner of the Women's Prize for Fiction 2022. Ladies and few gentlemen, the winner of the Women's Prize for Fiction 2022 is The Book of Form and Emptiness by Ruth Ozeki.
No. I like how the one that won, which I don't know if I'm assuming you could hear that, was The Book of Form and Emptiness by Ruth Ozeki, is the book that I couldn't even finish. I DNF'd it because it was not good. And yet, here it is, winning the Women's Prize. Nope, didn't predict that. Well, the Women's Prize winner may have been a disappointment to me, but the FDA has, or the committee for the FDA has approved the under 5 vaccine from Moderna. And so it is moving on its way, and when I say I cried, I cried, because, oh my gosh, it's just been a long time coming. So hopefully the rest of the process moves smoothly and quickly, but I am very happy about this. The day is done, and I have finished the second volume of Invisible Cities. Nope, Invisible Kingdom. I don't know if I mentioned this when I showed this the first time, but this is about, there's a space nun and a ship captain, and they both discover something about a connection and some like money that's being moved between two entities, and it's like basically like I'm trying to say scandal, but no. I don't know. There's a thing going on behind the scenes of like the whole society. Corruption. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. And they somehow end up in each other's company, and then this one is about like everything that happens from when they kind of meet and go forward. And this one was, in my opinion, better than the last one. I still don't love this as a graphic novel series. I think it's the art style. It doesn't appeal to me. It's too like traditional comic, like superhero. I don't know, it's very aggressive. Anyways, I finished this. It is the second volume, so for bingo, it does cross off the prompt continuous series, which means that I add one more bingo to my board. So there we go. We're up to, I think, 10 total bingos. And then now, to cross off that final bingo, I'm going to start Darius the Great Is Not Okay. So this is, we live near a main road. There are emergency vehicles often. So this is the next one I'm starting. I did already read a couple of pages of this, so I probably will read that as well. But yeah, moving along quickly. I have one prompt left and this will cross it off. So let's do this. Good morning. It is Thursday, making it through the week. Last night I started Darius the Great Is Not Okay, and I'm about 50 pages into it and I am loving this. I had already picked this up from the library because Casey the reader had recommended this, and I have really liked her queer YA contemporary recommendations, so I took it immediately, and then it turned out that it was on as a host favorite, which is very convenient. So I am really loving this. It reads really quickly, and the first chapter, he was just discussing the proper way to make tea, and my tea lover heart was just singing. And that like love of tea is continued throughout this, and it's just like a little thing, but as someone who's like a tea drinker in a predominantly coffee drinking society, I just love that aspect of this book so much. So that is a lot of fun, but I'm really enjoying this, and I think I will probably finish it relatively quickly because, like I said, it reads really quickly. So there is that. I am at like the 70% mark on my audiobook, which I've been listening to all month. It's taking a while to get through because I'm not in the car very often, which I'm okay with, especially with gas prices the way they are. But I just am not listening to a lot of audiobook right now. So I'm hoping to finish that pretty soon so that I can then listen to the 3 Animorph books that are out there. What was I going to say about that? Oh, I am considering like downloading the Animorphs books and going ahead and starting one of them, because part of the problem with my current book is that it has so much profanity in it that I am hesitant to listen to it with a little man in the car, because he repeats everything. Even with an audiobook on like 2 times speed, he still repeats things from the audiobooks. So I like, you know, cuss words are just words, but at the same time, like, he's 2. He doesn't need to be dropping the F-bomb. And this book drops the F-bomb constantly. So Yeah, so I'm thinking about going ahead and downloading the Animorphs ones because they're middle grade, and listening to those when he's in the car, and then listening to the other one when he's not in the car. But at the same time, I'm like at the 75 or 70% mark, so I'm like really close to being done with the other audiobook. So I feel like I should probably just like put in my earbuds and do some cleaning and just finish it, which I might do this weekend. Depending on what we're gonna do for Father's Day, I might actually get to the pottery studio this weekend. If not, I'm planning on going Tuesday for a little while. So I don't know. It's been a week, or it's been a month really, but I can't complain. I've gotten a ton of reading done. I think you can see sort of see the bingo board. Oh, there you go. And I only have the one spot left, so woohoo! Excuse me. What is it that you need? Is this what you heard? Yeah, that's what you heard? You don't even like Parmesan. I'll give you some, but you don't even like it. Why is it not Friday? I'm ready for this week to be over and for me to have 4 days off. I'm ready. I'm very ready. I'm at like the 90-page mark in this, and I'm really enjoying this. Yeah, so I'm like a third of the way through already, and I started it last night, so it definitely reads quickly. So I will be reading some more of that tonight. I made some delicious lunch, which you will have seen, and I got some basil from the garden for that. I do need to make sure that I water it first thing in the morning, because the zucchinis looked a little withered today, and we're not supposed to get rain anytime soon, so I'm gonna have to be watering those every other day for sure, maybe even every day. We'll see. Yeah, I am starting to think about what books I want to prioritize for my next bingo board, and I have all of these set here. I'll put you down there. I have 3 library books that I've had out for a little while. So The Promise, which I haven't had that long. Defense Straight, which someone I went to college with wrote this. And then Love in the Big City, which was on the International Booker long list. So I have those. I have 2 of the 3 Animorph books that are on audio, which I'll be starting shortly. I also have We Need New Names, which I think might be one of the next books that I go to, because I'm really eager to read this. A friend of mine sent this to me. I also am quite eager to read You've Changed, which was sent to me by Catapult, and this is written by an author from Myanmar. It's a nonfiction, it's a memoir. And then I need to dip back into Patriarchy Blues. I also, this one came recently, A Little Bit Country, which I quite would like to read. I definitely, if I don't read it in June, will read this in July. It just feels like a summer book. And I have The Stonewall Reader and Ace, which are both nonfiction. I would like to read one of those this month, if at all possible, because, you know, it is Pride Month. And then I have the 3rd volume of Invisible Kingdom, which I will definitely read. And then the only book left on my TBR from June that I won't have read yet is Tarnished Are the Stars, which I might go ahead and pick up. I can't decide. I think that one is less likely to be picked up than some of these others, even though it is on my TBR, just because, yeah, I don't know. I'm not really in the mood for sci-fi right now, if I'm being honest. So, yeah, that's what's happening. Those are the books I kind of have set aside as possibilities for the second half of June, because it has been quite an amazing reading month so far. So I am hoping to continue that throughout the rest of the month. I participated in some sprints and I read to almost the 50% mark of this, and I'm quite enjoying it. It made me cry already, so there's that. But I'm tired and my shoulders hurt, probably because I'm a chair shrimp. So I'm going to bed. I'm gonna have to break the news to this cat. Good morning. It's been a chaotic morning. I got up and took the baby to my parents, and then I had to go to the grocery store, then I had to water all the plants, then I had to feed the cats and put the groceries away. Ooh. And now I'm just waiting for my computer to boot up. And then I have just a full day. A really full work day. Yeah, I did read one more chapter, so I'm officially rude. I'm officially at the 50% mark on this, and I'm really enjoying it. So hopefully I'll have a little bit of time at lunch to read some more of this, because I would like to read some more of this. Yeah. Oh, and I don't think I showed you that I got the Waterstones Book of the Year copy of Hamnet, because I love this book. I paid more than I should have for this, but it's beautiful. It's gonna go over there when I get the other half of my bookshelf built. Which, if you don't know, that whole wall's supposed to be bookshelves. We started that before Grayson was born. But it's not the priority. Too many other house projects have come up, so eventually that'll get built. But then I'll have a place to like display pretty editions, because I'll have a lot more room. So yeah, anyways, I'm gonna get to work. There's just a clap of thunder that sounded like lightning struck our actual yard. It was so loud that I jumped out of my skin. Like, it scared me, it scared the crap out of me. And like, I ran downstairs and, you know, checked to make sure that nothing seemed to be on fire or charred. I scared the crap out of me, and my like monitors blinked off, but the power didn't actually go out. So I don't know what happened there, but that was freaking terrifying. So love that. 10 minutes before I'm supposed to conduct an interview. My heart rate is like elevated. Remember how I said that there was a sound that was like a cannon blast? Lightning did, in fact, hit the tree across the street in my neighbor's yard, less than 100 yards from my house. Lightning struck a tree, and that's why it sounded like it was in my front yard, because it basically was. I don't know if I've ever had lightning strike that close to my home, so, or like where I was, so that's freaking frightening. Good morning. I have my rainbow overalls on. Baby got up earlier than usual. And I'm tired, but I smell delicious breakfast downstairs, so I'm gonna go get that. My mom picked up some peaches from the peach truck, and now we have an abundance of peaches. They have to stay out like on the counter for 2 days and then be refrigerated, so I have to figure out where all of those are gonna go in the fridge because we don't have that much fridge space. So that's fun, but that means that I'm gonna have peaches for a while, and I'm very excited about it because last year I basically ate toast with peanut butter and peaches on it for breakfast like every morning. So that is gonna be one of my go-to breakfasts for the foreseeable future, and we're actually getting more peaches in July, so there's that. Yeah, lots of peaches, but we are going to probably juice some of these, and then hopefully by the time the second box of peaches comes in, the blackberries will be ripe, because blackberry peach cocktails sound like a great idea. Yeah, so there's that. I am less than 100 pages from the end of Darius the Great Is Not Okay, and I'm really enjoying this. It does make me sad because like the way that his dad treats him, and like it's starting to become clear that like the dad doesn't understand that like the way that he is saying things or doing things is really hurtful. And as a parent, you know, you're always learning and growing, so, but this is really good. Like I said, Grayson's asleep. He's gonna sleep for maybe like 45 minutes or so. I am gonna do an oldie but a goodie, which is cleaning and reading sprints. So I'm gonna set my timer for 20 minutes and I'm gonna read, and then I'm gonna set it for 20 minutes again, and I'm gonna do cleaning. So the 2 cleaning things that I need to do, I need to fold and put up my laundry, and I need to clean the counters and sinks in the master bathroom. So the goal here is to complete those 2 cleaning tasks and see if I can finish this before the baby wakes up. We'll see how far I get. Wish me luck. Well, I gotta go downstairs and eat, and the baby's awake, but I finished like the last page of this while Justin was changing Grayson's diaper from getting up from the nap. So I finished Darius the Great Is Not Okay, and it was friggin' phenomenal, but I'll talk about it tonight after the little one is asleep. And then I'll do all the bingo-y things. But I got all the laundry put away, but I did not even start in the bathroom because when the timer went off, for my second reading sprint, I was too invested. And so I just continued until I finished the book, so. All right, I have these newly laminated prompts that I took off of the board, and I'm about to reconfigure it to the second shuffled bingo board. But before I do that, let's talk about Darius the Great Is Not Okay and how it fits with the bingo board. This book was fantastic. I really, really enjoyed it. So it is, I'm not sure, so I feel like this was recommended to me as a queer contemporary. And like there's moments in this where I think it's alluded to that Darius is queer, but like it's never outright said, which is interesting. Like I think I like that about it. Again, if that's what's happening. But either way, this is a gorgeous story about like belonging and about mental health and family dynamics and just loving yourself. It's just so good. Oh my gosh, I'm definitely gonna buy my own copy of this to have, because this has been one of my favorite reads so far this year. So I've really, really enjoyed this. For bingo, so it finishes out my first bingo board, because this is a host's favorite. So it ticks off the host's favorite prompt, and then it also gets me my last 2 bingos for a total of 12 bingos. And then we're gonna clear the board and reshuffle. And now I am also going to count this for the article prompt, so it has the on the cover. And then I'm also going to count it for GPS, because it has a G, it has an S, there's many S's, and then up here it's winner of Morris and Apollo awards, so there's a P up here in this. So those are the prompts that I'm going to count it for. I'm also obviously taking off the free space again, and then reading sprints and guilt-free activity I'm going to take off as well. I watched some of Korra, Legend of Korra with my husband tonight, so that was my guilt-free activity. And then I have watched so many sprints, it's just been a thing. So I'm taking off sprints too. But yeah, so a good start on the second board so far. The 2 books that I have for tonight, I'm actually watching some YouTube videos right now, so I'm not like really focused on reading this evening. But I'm going to read this one. Just throwing it. This is Beyond the Gender Binary by Alok, and I have read like 16 pages of this. It's just a really short, it's like 65 pages or less than that, I'm not sure. It's just like a short essay about being non-binary, gender non-conforming, and Alok. I got to hear Alok speak, and they are a very interesting person, and I loved hearing about their culture and growing up and the support they received throughout their life. And it just really, you know, it reinforced the way that I plan to raise my child, and also gave me some tools for talking to my parents about some of the comments that they've made around some of the clothing choices that I've made for my son. So it gave me a good opportunity to have a conversation with them after listening to Alok speak. So I'm very interested to read this and just have more information and just feel, yeah, I don't know. I have many friends that are non-binary, and I want to support them in every way I can. So the more you know. And then I'm also going to finish out this graphic novel series. So this is the 3rd volume in Invisible Kingdom, and this is the final volume. So I'm going to finish this out. Probably if I do any reading tonight, I'm going to read this because I'm a little tired. Today's been kind of a long day, and I want to have like my full brain focusing for this. So yeah, that's what I have currently, and then tomorrow I will pick a another full-length novel or potentially nonfiction to read next. I am planning to go to the pottery studio tomorrow, so we'll have some pottery goodness for you guys. And yeah, I will probably finish my audiobook and start making my way through those 3 Animorphs audiobooks. But I am going to end this vlog here tonight, since I did finish out my board and start a new one. And also I've been editing this along the way and it is so long, so I'm sorry. And I just know that if I try to put tomorrow's footage in there, it's going to be over an hour, and that's just nonsense. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this vlog here and start next week's vlog on Sunday instead of Monday. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. I hope you're enjoying Whateverathon, having a great June, and I'll see you next time.